Hello, beautiful. Welcome back to another episode of the No BS Human Design Podcast. Today, we're talking all about the magic of projectors. If you are watching on YouTube, you'll see that I'm sharing my screen. I have Brad Pitt's chart, kind of. I don't know what exact time of day he was born, so just go with it. But I know that he was a projector. So I want to show you real quick here on visual. If you are a projector, you do not have a defined sacral center, which is this little square here, second to the bottom, and it doesn't have color in it, meaning it is open and or undefined. And you do not have a motor connected to the throat. So the motor centers are the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root. And you'll notice he doesn't have any of those that connect to his throat center here. So that's just a little visual so that you can jump into the episode ahead. Before we dive in, I want to give you some really exciting updates. If you've been here for a hot minute, I've been going through a rebrand. There's a lot of changes coming up, and my membership community is finally morphing into the thing that I know I am here to create big impact in. So in Human Design Society, we have officially launched. We're in week 2 now. Oh, it's 222. Look at that, Angel. Oh, is this a sign or what? We are in week 2 at 2:22 p.m. as I'm recording this. And wait, now I just lost my train of thought. Of the deconditioning journey, I have renamed this path Rebirth. What I've essentially done is taken all of the work that I did on myself, that I do with my clients, and how we've actually reprogrammed our subconscious, deconditioned, peel back the layers of all the conditioning and all the junk society has put on us, and come back home to who we are authentically designed to be in a very regulated nervous system way, a way that feels so easeful, so flow, not forceful, just feels so fulfilling. And for me as a generator type, satisfying. We've literally put that into a self-paced online course within Human Design Society. I'm so freaking excited. So we're in week 2 now, where they're starting to peel back the layers of design by type and strategy. Then we move into authority, and then we add in more of the universal energetics, the laws, the universal laws that are at play, how to build your trust muscle with the universe, God, source, all the pieces that I knew were missing for me when I started my human design journey. Plus the actual somatic exercises to regulate your nervous system, to bring in this version of you, bring back online this version of you, and allow it to feel safe and not scary, to not dysregulate your nervous system. Literally all of that, as simplified as possible, I've put into a self-paced trajectory within Human Design Society. I'm like blown away that we have even started this. So it's in beta right now. When the official rebrand kicks off, maybe end of summer, I'm not really sure, early fall, we're going to officially be putting like a big old logo on it and making it a big thing. But for anyone who's in Human Design Society now, new or current, even if you're just joining us today, you get to be in the beta version of it, which means you get to help me mold this. If there's any pieces that you feel like you want to see more of, anything you love, like I want to hear all that feedback. And it's like I'm literally holding your hand, guiding you through the deconditioning process. And so is an entire community within Human Design Society. So if this tickles your fancy, if you were like, I am so ready for that self-paced, more accessible on the daily kind of version of this work for only $27 a month. What's that ASPCA commercial say? Less than a coffee a day, right? It's like less than $1 a day. So all of that info, the link will be in the show notes below. Be sure to check it out. And I also want to share with you that in a few weeks, I'm going to be very much offline because July 25th through the 28th, I'm like, did I get those dates right? I will be in the woods, rucking, aka hiking with everything on my back, 100 miles for charity. And at first, I planned all year. I've been training for this since last summer. At first, I planned on not sharing this on the business side of my life because it felt very personal. And I didn't want to infuse both of, I don't know. It was honestly, now my intuition is like, why would you not use the platform that you speak on to talk about this? Because the charity that we're raising awareness and funds for It's in Worcester, Worcester County here in Massachusetts. It's called Why Me and Sherry's House, and they are literally working every single day of their lives to bring peace and joy and fulfillment back into the lives of families who are affected by childhood cancer. And now I'm going to cry. And I've been so fortunate to not have a child who suffers from this, but I do know, here we go. I do know families who are going through this and who are suffering through this. And I want to do my part. I want to do something that feels really good and exciting to me and raise awareness for this really incredible charity. And one of the kids, oh, see, here I go. One of the kids who did have cancer, who went through all of that with the foundation, with her family, is now on the other side of cancer, and she will be rucking with us. And I just got full body tingles. And she said at our debrief in February, she said, rucking 100 miles isn't hard. Cancer is. And although I've been training for this and it's going to be really fucking hard, her words really sat with me. And I know I need to use my voice to communicate that I'm doing this and to communicate that you can also contribute should you feel the urge to. So I will put the link in my show notes. You may have been seeing on Instagram over the past year, I have been sharing that I'm training for something, and I'll share pictures of my 11 miles in the woods and all of this stuff. So if you want to stay up to date on my training and of course on the ruck as it's happening, we are going to be having people take pictures, and we'll be sure to share those on Instagram and such as well. So, whew, okay, now I'm all worked up, but I'm honestly so genuinely excited. I cannot wait. This is testing my manifesting generatorness to the max, my superhuman potential, all of that. I'm very, very excited. I hope you will join us in watching, rooting us along on social media and all the other things. I'll post reminders on Instagram as the time gets closer. Now let's move into the projector episode. See you soon. Welcome to the No BS Human Design Podcast. I'm Adriana Keefe, human design coach and motivational speaker. I went through my quarter-life crisis in my 20s and had to learn how to navigate through finding what I was meant to be doing with my life. I refused to believe in the culture that said we were all meant to have the same path and boring careers until we retire and die. And along my journey, I found human design, a system that reveals your energetic blueprint, showing you where and how to access your body's consciousness and how to live as your true self. Human design changed my life, so I started sharing it with others and changing their lives, but we were all finding the same problem: a lack of resources that explain the system in easy and useful ways. So I created this show where we dive deep into the lessons of the human design system without the BS and the noise you find on the internet. Listen in for lessons in human design, finding your purpose, manifestation and spiritual practices, human design within business, and so much more. We connect with other experts in the human design and spiritual realm in a refreshingly honest way to help you find your way along your spiritual path and live this life with intention. It's time to let go of the societal expectations of being and let yourself find abundance through being uniquely you. Let's get started. Hello, my beautiful projector, and welcome to your rebirth. I am very excited to talk all things projector here with you today. They are, I would say, the largest, widest, most all over the place kind of type within the human design system. You could have 2 centers defined, you could have 4. I mean, there's a lot. So don't ever feel like you are put in a box by being a projector type. That is just to help you super high level. So I want to say that right off the bat, every projector is extremely, extremely different in their design. So what makes you a projector is you have an undefined sacral center and no motor connected to the throat. Huge amount of variability within this type. But overall, your gift, your energy is really here to guide the energy of others. You are here to basically, if you were to think about the movie set and on a scene of a movie, the director pointing at everyone, telling them where to go, what they could do better, that is such a gift of yours. You're also gifted in creating systems for improving efficiency of energy. That might not look strategically in the masculine way, like creating systems, but I would encourage you to start to notice the way that you can pick up on how things could be more efficient for other people or for yourself. You have this ability to look into how people are using their energy and the true potential of it. Your energy as a projector is one that really needs to be seen and acknowledged for your wisdom to access the energy for taking action and sharing what you see. So if you're ever in that state of mind where you're wondering why you are always feeling like you're yearning for someone to acknowledge you and acknowledge what you're saying, that is nothing that's wrong with you. There's nothing broken. There's nothing you need to fix or heal. That is just a natural part of your energy. And that is what your energy desires and needs. You're not designed to work long hours. So unlike the generator types, which are about 70 something percent of the population, projectors are only about 20% of the population. And generator types have really, really put us in this society, and I'm saying this as one myself, of work, 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 go, 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 because they have that defined sacral center, and it's like a rechargeable battery. It just keeps going like the Energizer Bunny. Projectors are not designed to work like that. You are designed to work in beautiful small spurts, maybe 2 to 3 hours at a time, and then rest. Your energy is very efficient when it's on, so it doesn't need that much time. And then you rest and recharge, and then you use your energy again for whatever it is that you're working or focusing on. When you're feeling worthy and recognized, when your self-worth is really, I don't want to say healed, magnified. When you feel like you are in your worth and you feel like you're being recognized for the things that really light you up, the invitations will just flow in. We'll talk about invitations in just a moment. So, times of slowdown are also invitations to go inward and heal. You will have more energy for the things that you want to do after you allow yourself to rest. So, rest is really important for you. There is a term that's thrown around called energy projectors, which means that you have a motor defined within your design. So a motor could be the heart, the sacral, the root, or the solar plexus. If you have it defined, it will be colored in, and you will just likely have more energy than a projector who does not have that defined, because it is like a motor, like the motor of a car that pushes you going. So energy projectors tend to have more energy than someone who does not have any of those motors defined. So overall, it's really important to take time daily to empty out your aura, empty out your energy, rest, rejuvenate, turn off your brain. If it feels good to do a puzzle, anything like that, and let your energy settle. Just for funsies, some famous projectors that you might really enjoy hearing about are Princess Diana, Barack Obama, and Taylor Swift. So I want to say Taylor Swift had one motor defined. Maybe it was two, but I'm pretty sure it was just one. So if any of those fancy you, then you're just in good company with other wonderful projectors. Let's talk about aura. If the word aura is new to you, it's an energy field that extends outwardly around you. And this is what communicates with each other. So have you ever walked into a room and you can just tell that people were fighting, like it feels tense? You can feel energy. Your auras are communicating for you. This is also scientifically proven. If you are new to the spiritual woo-woo concepts, this is where I love to talk about the science too, but we'll hold that back for now. Overall, your aura is called a focused aura. It provokes recognition and invitation. So your aura is naturally going to be calling in people to recognize your gifts and to invite you to share your gifts. So let that sink in for a little bit, okay? It's naturally doing that work. You don't have to force. And it's very absorbing, and sees into another person's aura. So you can literally like focus in on someone else. Think of it like a headlight of a car, and it just shoots in at someone else's aura and energy and picks up what can be more efficient, how the person can be doing something better, the systematizing of it all. Think about director, right? So that is a gift of yours. And that is why you need that time to rest, because it's always on and it's always working on the other person's aura, whether you realize it or not. But now I have a feeling you're going to start to notice that you pick up on those things when you're around other people. So let yourself rest, because that aura works hard. Now let's talk about your strategy. The word strategy is the way that you interact with the world around you. Think flow, not force. Okay. And it's literally called waiting for the invitation. Wait for a clear invitation or request to share your unique wisdom. It's important that you're asked to share your advice before you do it. I'm sure you can think of a moment in time when you were trying to help a friend or a client or whoever it was, and they just really needed a shoulder to lean on. But you were like, well, what if you do this? And what if you do that? Because you can see what needs to be fixed and addressed. You're like, well, this is how we can get out of this spot, right? But all they really wanted was to just voice their opinion, just a shoulder to lean on. And so it felt like your words were like talking to a wall, fell on deaf ears. And maybe you felt a little bitter, a little resentful, like you weren't being seen or heard. So it's important that you wait for someone to ask you what you see. Or one of the greatest things that one of my projector clients told me that she realized was she started asking her friends or her family, whoever she was talking to, do you want my advice or do you just want me to lend an ear? And you can literally ask, open up that invitation for them and ask. That way, you know exactly what that person needs and you are not moving out of alignment. You are just being who you need to be for that person and yourself in that moment. So your self-worth overall can get really tangled up in people not hearing and seeing the things that you have to see. Self-worth is important to be open to receiving invitations. Do you see your own worth and value? Start paying attention to it now that you're learning about your aura and how your energy works. Do you see it? You must have the energetic capacity to receive an invitation. So if you're already in your mind, like, but how do I build a business if I'm not going out and forcing things and knocking on all the doors and all the masculine things we were taught, right? Go back inward. Recognize what you value about yourself and what you find really beautifully worthy about the way that you move about the world. Where is your worth? Is it in the right energy, or is it in being placed on external things trying to validate you? And you also need the energetic capacity in the way of not being exhausted. Many, many projectors, I mean, I would dare to say all the projectors that have ever come to work with me are extremely burnt out because they don't know that they're not designed like a generator, because most of the world are generator types and you're just trying to keep up. But if your energy is very exhausted, there is no capacity to, excuse me, to receive more. So resting, rejuvenating, replenishing is literally going to open you up to receive more. And remember, without an invitation, your words won't be heard. If you are a business owner or someone, outside of personal context, invitations can also look like someone listening to your podcast. They clearly want to hear from you. Someone signing up for your email list. They clearly want to hear from you, right? So pay attention to those little things where you can share your wisdom, because those people clearly want to hear what you have to say. Now let's talk about not self-theme and signature. Your not self-theme and signature really keep you on the road to your aligned self. Not self-theme is like your red flag that tells you when something's out of alignment, and your signature theme is the exact opposite. This is this feeling that you will get when something was done in such beautiful alignment with your energy. Your signature is called success. Feeling successful with relationships, work, your environment when you're in alignment. Feeling successful when your people succeed from your wisdom. So start to notice, when do you feel that feeling of success and what does it feel like in your body? Because that is a clear indicator for things that you are designed to do. Pay attention to that. The red flag side, the not self, is a feeling of bitterness. And this is where I've heard a lot of feelings of not feeling seen or heard or appreciated, starting to feel a little bit resentful, feeling bitter or unappreciated when someone doesn't follow your advice. You can also feel bitter and unappreciated when you're exhausted from overworking. So again, this is not about shaming yourself, not about judging yourself. This is all an experiment with your energy. Just notice, what does that feel like in your body? And then over time, you'll be able to recognize more easily when that feeling is coming up for you and helps you realign. Go back. Okay, what was out of alignment here? Was I forcing my thoughts, my opinion? Was I just forcing and knocking on doors and trying to make my business work? What were you doing? Where were you not sitting back and allowing yourself to receive or be open to invitations? Again, just be curious about it. Do not judge, just be curious, okay? Now let's talk my favorite part, conditioning and shadow. We're constantly being conditioned from the moment we are born to the moment we wake up in the morning to the moment we go to sleep. There's things outside of us telling us we're supposed to be a different way than we are, right? So we're all conditioned, and we all have operated out of the shadow side of every gift that we have. So please, again, no shaming yourself, no judgment. A lot of shadow and conditioning aspects that I've seen projectors come to me with: overworking to be seen, appreciated, and successful, right? Because we're told if we don't work a lot, we're not successful. Following the work mode of generator types, very easy to do. You can literally steal their sacral energy and use it to work. Fear of slowing down in work, thinking success only comes from a lot of activity. I've also been there, guilty. Unresourceful attention seeking, pushiness with sharing your advice, low self-worth when not feeling seen or validated, initiating instead of waiting for the invitation, allowing fear of not being successful, seen, or heard to take over the mind, because then you're falling out of your worth, out of your value, and allowing the external world to basically judge what your success can look like. So whatever one of those, or if anything related to that, but that I didn't say comes to mind, write that down. This is important on your path of deconditioning, okay? And then I also love to talk about sleep, because sleep is so, so important as we're doing this work. Sleep obviously is important to health anyway, but when you're working in neuroplasticity, rewiring the brain, anything that you are trying to let go and release trauma, emotions, sleep is going to be crucial. Extra crucial for projectors, not necessarily sleep, but rest, okay? So sleep for projectors, often it looks the most wholesome. Is wholesome the right word? Maybe. Easiest for you to fall asleep if you go to bed before being overtired and create a wind down routine. Don't overly exhaust yourself. This is a lot of practice with your energetic boundaries, right? So go to bed before you're overtired. If you're staying up and letting yourself get overtired, you're likely pushing your energetic limits there. So just notice, okay? And sleep alone in only your aura when possible. I used to hate this advice. I mean, all of human design, they actually say that for everyone, that everyone should sleep alone and only in your aura. I used to hate that advice because I was like, that's not realistic. But what I will say is over time, I have met quite a few projectors who already were sleeping on their own because they noticed they slept better and felt better the next day. And I will say, as someone who has become psychic and a channel of spirit, I'm starting to also notice when I sleep next to my husband, when he's not traveling for work, my energy does feel more clouded and cluttered over time. And I'm not even a projector. So when he's traveling for work, I notice that that's my time where I feel more creative. I wake up a little bit easier. So just start to notice if you can play with sleeping alone in only your aura. Start to notice if you get better sleep, if you feel better throughout the week, throughout the month, whatever that is. Allow your aura just to be only in your aura, because remember, your aura is working even when you're not. So you really need to let it rest as often as you can. And of course, if you have a partner or married and spouse, whoever, it's not about them. Remind them it's not about you. I'm genuinely working on my energy and I feel like I need a good cleanse. So let's just test this out and see how it goes. Because if you are in a more clear aura, if your energy feels better, you're going to be a better person in your life. You're just going to enjoy things more and it will translate into your family life as well. I promise you, I've seen it firsthand. So some great journal prompts I will leave in the notes below. Things like what resonates with me about my energy, what am I resisting about my energy? Go back over and listen to it with those journal prompts, listening to it again. What beliefs do I currently have that are suppressing my magic? Like I have nothing unique to share. Nobody listens to me. These are great things to start to notice. And again, without judgment, just notice.